Thanks for watching Ben Television. The program is UDISA. My name is Shegun Johnson. We have in the studio with us one of the greatest in Nigeria, representing his own political association, which is yet to be registered, but ready to take on the nation. I'm talking of no other person but Mr. Thomas Ogbemudia. Mr. Ogbemudia, welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me on the program.
Yeah, the name of your party is People Unity Party.
That's right.
And is presented before INEC now.
Yes.
And we were supposed to see your name yesterday, but it's yet to come.
Exactly.
Now tell us about the PUP.
PUP actually is a youth-oriented party.
Oh, okay.
And the idea of setting up the party originated here in diaspora. We became very concerned about development of political situation in Nigeria and feel that it's time we have to give back to society. And from what is happening on the ground in Nigeria, I don't think more analysis or interpretation has to be done to understand why a change is desirable at this point in time. We want to empower society, and we want to ensure that power lies in the hands of the youths to advance the progress and development of Nigeria in 21st century. Okay.
In case our viewers want to know more about it, you have a website they can go?
Yes, and that is www.pup.org.ng.
Oh, that's very straightforward. That's www.pup.org.ng. Oh, I like that one. Not UK, but NG.
No,
so that's because it's a... And you have establishment on the ground in Nigeria. Do you have an office in Abuja and how many states?
We have our secretariat, national secretariat at number 5 Kyoto Close off IBB Boulevard, Maitama, Abuja.
Wow.
And as I speak to you, we are gaining momentum and working across Nigerian states, presently active in 26 states. And we hope to escalate that to 30 states in the coming weeks.
Okay. And you intend to participate in the election February 2019 presidential. Have you got a presidential candidate?
We're taking it from the very bottom.
Okay.
We are not in a rush to talk about presidential candidate. Okay. However, we want to make our party very viable in such a way that we want to get people motivated from the grassroots.
Okay.
Because what we want is representation of the people and not necessarily just going to
content for power.
Exactly. So what we are doing is we are identifying people with vision that are ready to deliver the desired needs of the masses. So we might have a few senatorial seats, House of Reps, and
state assemblies,
councillors. Of course, we are an emerging party.
Okay. So let me ask you a very serious question. What are you going to do? What will PUP do better than APC that is in federal government?
Of course, I'll tell you, first of all, before I even go straight to that, I'll tell you APC has never even done anything. If you see the sway and defection, massive defection, I'm not saying one or two, massive defection of people who are entrusted with power to represent the people, and see the way they can just defect overnight simply because of their own agenda, you will understand that we do not have a government functioning. So what we intend to do is to put power in the hands of the commoners, who would elect you on the basis
These
of...
commoners, will they take money for voting?
No, and that is the idea we have always encouraged in Nigeria, and that is why it's a no. Now, we are asking people to be part of the movement, to revive Nigeria and put it where it belongs. So if we are going to do that, there is no essence of having to bribe, because that's what we want to eliminate. It has become a norm, an acceptable value in our society.
You won't be going to Ekiti to
ask for... No, we won't be dishing out bags of rice. But what we want to do is we want to let the youths understand that if you are committed to building a viable society, the rewards and dividends are going to be much more higher than the bags of rice and the few token that are being dished out. Exactly.
4,000 naira. Otumba wants to ask you a question.
Mr. Ogbemudia.
Yes, please.
For me, I look at the generality of the country. My constituency is the whole country. And we have 180, even though we are not well counted. But let's use that figure given to us.
Yes.
Now, And we also have about 774 local governments, official, yeah? Now, look at the camera and tell our viewers, how are you going to reach out to the grassroots? Because the problem we have been discussing here, the moderator just talked about a handout of 4,000 to get votes.
Yeah.
The way it is, that looks like it's already established in the system.
Of course.
Because a lot of people, the ordinary people, will be standing by, waiting for a buyer. A buyer, yeah? Somebody who will give them money before they vote. How are you going to deal with this, judging from the little time you have left?
I would say start thinking about that. Try to disagree with Otumba. Yes, sorry, Otumba just asked you a question.
Yes, going back to the issue so Otumba raised as to how we are able to reach the grassroots in terms of the enormity of the size and population of Nigeria. And I'll tell you that is very simple. And it's even much simpler for us now because of the availability of the social media. The mainstream media, which has been the predominant access of reaching the masses, is not being overtaken by the social media. But you have to understand that a lot of people live in the rural area who do not have access to electricity and would not be able to contend with live broadcasting as we have it here right now. However, with the provision of the possibility of the mass, the society being able to be reached through social media network.
Yes.
And we have that advantage of that. And that is what we have made good use of up to this point in mobilizing our supporters. We've been able to reach out through social media platform, for WhatsApp and all of this, Facebook. And majority of the youths are getting engulfed with our mission and our messages, and we are reaching out.
Okay, we'll come back to you in a minute so that we can know more of PUP. Exactly. And we're very grateful you are here.
To the youth new party, what you said about the campaign. And the youth, I have a question for Thomas Ogbemudia. Thomas, in the old political party, before this new 23, are there no youth or were there no youth members of so various political youth party? Why are your own going to be different? Are you saying now you are now new born again Christian party to the whole churches that we know before? Thomas, tell me, what do you know about governance? And you're not closing a political party, thinking that it will dare and Nigeria will be fooled again. Tell me, have you ever worked in Nigeria as a civil servant? Have you?
Okay, let him answer you. Let me wait for first, Luca. Do you want to answer the questions?
Of course.
Are you comfortable?
Yeah.
Okay, it's my job to ask you.
Well,
all right. Okay, go on.
Thank you for raising those points. First of all, like you say, what do I have to do differently? Is our approach that is different. Our approach is such that we don't have to go out to lure people to come and support us simply because we bind them over. We're not buying them over at all. So what we're doing is we're just letting people understand the dividends that they can get if they commit themselves to good system of governance that we are able to give them, if only we are voted in.
Yeah.
And what we do differently, as opposed to what other parties have done, is to create an atmosphere for open participation on the basis of merit and the vision that a candidate will put forward and how the candidate will align himself or herself to our manifesto on a progressive dimension.
Okay.
But what we've seen before of other people, or most parties, APC or whatever, are people coming in the guise of governing people on the basis of their manifesto presented, only to find out that they've deviated.
Yeah.
And then
their manifestos did not manifest. Yeah.
Because manifesto can just be written. But the question is, society has never really held people to accountability when their manifestos are not working, because they so forget, simply because they were either bought by these candidates or the interest in ethnicity or personal benefit that comes from it. We are such that are open to, in such a way that...
Okay, thank you. I think you've answered his question. Yeah. He may accept it or may not accept. Thank you for that, for illustrating very well. if we still have time, we'll talk about Oshiomhole, because Oshiomhole is trying to take too many roles. He wants to, the way he's behaving, he may take the job of the vice president. He may take the job of the president of the Senate. Definitely, yesterday he met with legislators telling them how to run the country very well. You now wonder how many roles will Oshiomhole now meeting with senators and legislators to discuss the moving forward. Is like what Oyegun did not do, I will do. In fact, ministers line up, let me tell you what to do, otherwise I will expel you. I'm quoting him. I will expel you, and then the president will expel you. Oshiomhole, did you say that? I watched you. But let me leave that one for another day. We were talking about Akpabio.
Yes. Again, actually, Akpabio, after his tenure as governor in Akwa Ibom State, when the presidential elections were held in 2015, he gave Buhari 15,000 votes. Yes. He betrayed Jonathan. He was calling Jonathan names, and at the same time he was calling APC the Fulani party. It's on record. He can't dispute it. And so since that time, even when he was appointed minority whip in the Senate, the senators in PDP were not comfortable. They have been finding a way to remove him from that position.
Do you think he's afraid of this 100 billion naira the EFCC was?
That was the story the world was sold when he talked of the campaign.
Yeah.
He said he was afraid of EFCC already running after him. He doesn't want to go to prison. And so to temporarily ease his challenges, let me cross over to the APC.
Yeah, where your sins are washed away.
Yeah, and again, on that day, August 8, 2018, he now took over the APC machinery on his own, not only in Akwa Ibom State, but in the South. Because that's what he told the world, that he's going to deliver South to APC in 2019.
I understand.
He forgot about people like Rotimi Amechi, Sylvia of Bayelsa State, and then even the chairman of the APC, national chairman, Adams Oshiomhole, who was there that day dancing on the floor of the decamping thing. So Akpabio is really has lost out. He's lost the game.
Does he have any electoral value?
No. But he has 2% of electoral value in Akwa Ibom, because 98 is for Emmanuel Udom. And then yes.
I watch Oshiomhole saying that Akpabio is now honorable because he resigned from his minority leadership, and so he's an honorable man. Saraki should copy this honorable man. All of a sudden, Akpabio is now an honorable, distinguished senator that everybody should copy. That's what Oshiomhole was saying. But let me hear from
But the same Oshiomhole on that same platform, in the presence of Akpabio, said PDP in their 16 years in government were busy stealing. They are thieves.
Mr. Thomas, I know time is not on our side, and you have really presented your party, People Unity Party. Thank you very much for coming. We'll go on a short break now. I know we have to come up with another, but you've done very well. Thank you very much for coming. And we ask our viewers to watch out for your website. Thank you very much. We'll go on a short break. When we return, we'll be having a new guest, but don't go away. We will get to the very root of this show of shame of Nigerian leadership. We'll be right back.